The Paris 2024 Olympics was all about sportsmanship, sponsorships, enthusiasm, and unity, until it suddenly turned into a full-blown pagan frat party, complete with ancient god cosplay. First up on the entertainment menu, the appetizer, we had a parade of drag queens shaking, flaunting their divine assets in front of a global audience, which no doubt had some viewers gasping in shock. Then a 300-pound tattooed DJ goddess took the stage, flaunting her flesh and demanding your undivided attention and love. And here comes the highlight. A semi-nude pregnant smurf with a golden beard was served as the main course, begging us to swallow him whole. Sexual, seductive, shiny. Oh, he sings. Yes, that's exactly how you achieve world peace, apparently. This fever dream of an opening ceremony was titled Dionysus and the Feast of Gods, a celebration of Olympic spirit and storytelling through performance. At least, that's what they intended to achieve. The whole thing was masterminded by Thomas Jolly, the Olympic artistic director, who intended to create an homage to celebration, unity, and the triumph of the human spirit through joy and communal experiences. Well, bravo, Thomas. You've managed to unite Christians worldwide in collective outrage and even got a chunk of the French public to chime in with their disappointment and anger. All the performances were arranged around a long table, which at first glance might have looked like Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, but it wasn't. According to the French Olympic Committee, the scene was actually inspired by The Feast of the Olympian Gods, a 1630 painting by Jan van Bijlert. The composition of that painting closely aligns with the staging at the Paris ceremony. However, the resemblance to The Last Supper led some to call it a mockery of Christianity, sparking outrage among Christians worldwide. The intense pushback and the flurry of apologies from the French Olympic Committee made two things clear: a misunderstanding of Christianity's deep art historical roots in paganism, and the fact that the conservative backlash had little to do with art history. But let's set aside the controversy for a moment and delve into the deeper meaning behind this unforgettable performance, shall we? Some critics thought the drag performers were referencing The Last Supper, but according to the French Olympic Committee, the performance drew inspiration from the myth of Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, revelry, and ecstasy. Dionysus, often seen as a joyful yet unpredictable deity, embodies the balance between life's pleasures and chaos. Adding even more fuel to the fire, critic Emma Cieslik offers an even sharper take. In her article for Hyperallergic, she argues that the Olympic drag scene surprisingly nailed Christian art history. According to Emma, early Christian artists often drew inspiration from depictions of Jupiter, informed by earlier depictions of his Greek counterpart Zeus, when visualizing their god and his son Jesus. These same early Christian artists borrowed naturalist pagan symbols that have now become central to Christianity. In this version, the performance was a grand feast hosted by Dionysus himself. It wasn't just for show, it was a genuine nod to Greek history and the roots of the Olympic Games. Bacchus, the Roman version of Dionysus, is usually shown as androgynous, highlighting his role as a god of change and transformation. The Paris opening ceremony depicted a bacchanalia that underscored the divinity of LGBTQ people, many of whom are increasingly turning to pagan practices after being cast out or leaving churches that persecute them, such as the Catholic Church, which funded many Last Supper paintings. In fact, many drag performers identify as Christian, and suggesting they shouldn't participate in recreating iconic religious art overlooks their own connection to spiritual traditions. So, Emma Cieslik said the performance didn't borrow Christian elements. These symbols have origins and meanings that extend beyond Christianity. The fat goddess character, fabulously embodied by Barbara Butch, was a vibrant celebration of inclusivity, body positivity, and diversity, reminding us all to party like there's no tomorrow. Picture a goddess with a modern twist, bold curves, undeniable charisma, and enough sass to make the gods rethink their outdated standards. This performance didn't just challenge conventional beauty norms. It stomped them out with a killer high heel, then handed them a glass of vintage wine for good measure. Barbara Butch, a renowned French DJ and fierce advocate for LGBTQ rights and body acceptance, brought this goddess to life, embodying the power to shatter stereotypes and embrace every form of beauty. Her performance wasn't just a celebration of diversity and the joy of living, it was like a confetti cannon of inclusivity, showering the world with the bold message that all bodies are beautiful. By bringing a fat goddess to center stage, she didn't just make a statement about body positivity, she proclaimed it from the rooftops, reminding everyone that the Olympics is a global party where everyone's invited to dance. However, the performance sparked controversy and backlash from some viewers who found it disrespectful, particularly those who felt it echoed elements of the Last Supper, a sacred Christian moment. Since the opening ceremony, Barbara's performance has ignited outrage among many people worldwide, including non-Catholics, who saw it as offensive and a mockery of a sacred ritual like the Eucharist. As a result, Barbara Butch has become the target of a violent campaign of cyber harassment and defamation. In the performance, Dionysus was portrayed as a lively, party-loving figure, embodying the spirit of celebration. This character symbolizes joy, excess, and the breaking down of barriers through shared experiences. The blue hue and exaggerated features of Dionysus in this performance might represent a blend of ancient myth with contemporary creativity. His presence added humor and absurdity, encouraging the audience to enjoy the lighter side of life. Fun fact, the Dionysus was portrayed by Philippe Catherine, a French entertainer and songwriter. Catherine performed a song titled Nu, or Naked, addressing the absurdity of violence between human beings with humor and satire. The song, A Message for Peace, was inspired by conflicts like those in Gaza and Ukraine. He remarked, "Would there have been wars if we had stayed naked? Perhaps not, because you can't hide a gun or a dagger when you're naked." The entire performance is a metaphor for the Olympic Games. Just like Dionysus's feast brings together the gods, the Olympics bring together people from different backgrounds, cultures, and countries to celebrate human achievements. It highlights the need for balance between competition and friendship, seriousness and fun, and tradition and modernity. In essence, the Dionysus and the Feast of Gods Act was a vibrant reminder that the true spirit of the Olympics lies not only in pursuing excellence, but in celebrating our shared humanity. Reactions to the performance were mixed. Some felt the chaotic and exaggerated portrayal of the ancient Greek gods was ridiculous and disrespectful, with its resemblance to the Last Supper, prompting some to label it a mockery of Christianity. However, others defended it, praising its bold and creative approach. They saw it as a refreshing change from traditional performances and appreciated how it brought ancient mythology to life in a modern way. For them, it was more about celebrating joy, unity, and the Olympic spirit, rather than sticking strictly to historical or religious traditions. Regardless, this part of the performance certainly made the Paris Olympics opening ceremony one of the most talked about events and will likely be remembered for a long time. So do you think this performance is mocking the Last Supper? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to this channel for more art adventures. I'll see you in the next one.